Hi, this is LazyLex UK and this is Project Spark Alphabet, and today we're doing the letter J. And for my tile I've picked jump height, and for my prop, there are no J props in Project Spark, nothing beginning with the letter J, and no assemblies either, so I've created a jellyfish. So let's start with our jellyfish that I've created here. Let me go into test mode so you can see it. So I've created one here, look, floating about. Now what this does is goes up and down on a path like this. Obviously you wouldn't have that necessarily on the land like this, unless you wanted to create some sort of alien landscape where jellyfish walk about. And of course you could attach this jellyfish shape to another creature so it can walk around. It's really up to you, it's quite versatile. But over here I've popped it in the sea, and I'm going to use it as a hazard in a sort of like platformer situation. So I'm in the water here, and there's a jellyfish in the water. You could put lots in a row or something. And so if I swim over the jellyfish, it's all good, everything's fine. But if I mistime it and I hit the jellyfish, it starts damaging me. I've got poisoned, and there's a poisonous cloud over me, and I'm getting damaged. And if I'm foolish enough to go over again, it'll do it again to me until such time as I die from jellyfish poisoning. Okay, so let's have a look at the code. So here's our jellyfish in the water. It has a path. It has an individual path for itself. And if we look at the path properties here, it's set to back and forth. It's got a speed of 0.01. It pauses at certain points. Have a fiddle about with this to get it how you like it. Path type is straight, 3D orientation, and I've set the movement to fall. Obviously there's others like smooth or elastic. Again, play about with this to get the effect that you want for your jellyfish. And here is my jellyfish. And in its brain it says move on path, and then it in world picks that path with flying at speed 0.1. When started to bump player, so if the player hits him, then he checks to see if he has the damage over time brain inside its brain, and if it doesn't, it will put a damage over time brain in its brain. Now this damage over time brain is found in the gallery. It's made by Team Dakota, and it's a poisonous effect. Now you can put your own brain in here. You don't have to use Team Dakota's one. Maybe you want a different effect for when you're stung by a jellyfish. Maybe you start dancing in the water. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can make your own brain. You don't have to use damage over time, but it does the job, so let's use it. And that's it. That's a very simple little jellyfish that you can use as a hazard or whatever you want. Or you can just put ones in there floating in the water. They don't have to move if you don't want to. It is entirely up to you, just as a decoration for your seascape. Right then, jump height. Okay, so when it comes to jumping, there is something called a bounce pad, and if we go into test mode and I go and jump on it, it has an animation and some special effects. There we go. I can jump on it and it will throw me into the air quite high, about, I don't know, 15 feet in the air. I'm not quite sure how high that is. Actually, let's pop another one of these on top, and then we can tell, can't we? So around about there, I think. Okay, so it goes to 10, and then that will be 11, 12, 13, 14, etc, etc. So let's see how high does the bounce pad send you. It's about 12, isn't it? It's about 12, maybe 13. Between 12 and 13 in the air. And it's steady. He's doing the same every time he's going to that sort of height. which is nice and it's great and it's useful for platformers, but it's not a trampoline. So I have coded something here that creates a trampoline effect. So we'll jump on our trampoline here and we'll start bouncing. And every time I jump on the trampoline, I'm getting higher. Oops, I didn't bounce quick enough. You've got to time it so that when these feet touch it, you get higher and higher and higher. I've set it maximum of 12. You won't get any higher than 12, which is pretty much the same as the bounce pad, but you can do it to any height you like. You can have it less or more. It is entirely up to you. Okay, so let's have a look at the code for that. Now I've put that all into our player brain. There's nothing in this trampoline that I've made here. This is basically just a barrel lid. You can make whatever you like. You make something that looks a bit more like a trampoline, with sort of like a black trampoline with legs and things. Spend a bit of time making a trampoline. Or you can use it as a platforming thing, and you can have anything you like. It doesn't have to be a round lid at all. Right then, jump height. This is the tile we're looking at today. So jump height equals 2 plus a number variable which I've called jump. Now the jump height default is 2. If you were to just jump normally, 2 is about as high as he will go, and if you press it twice, it will go to 4. So there we go. Jump height is 2. Now then, because we're adding a jump number variable, we better clamp that number variable so it doesn't get too high. So I've clamped that so it's got a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 10. So you won't go any higher than 12, but like I said, you can change that to whatever you need. I'm also displaying his jump height above his head. You can see that number. That's more of a debug thing, but you might want that in your game. You can put that in or not. It's up to you. And that will display the jump height, which will be 2 plus your jump variable. Right, when you press A, if you are standing on that barrel lid, you will jump, and that jump number will be incremented by 1. So it will go up by 1, and it will play the cartoon bounce sound. If you're not standing on the barrel lid, you'll just jump, and that jump height will be 2. And that's it. And then if you are standing on the barrel lid, after 0.3 seconds of you standing there, if you haven't pressed A, then that jump and come off it, then that jump variable will be put back to 0, and your jump height will be set back to 2. So as soon as you stop jumping on that trampoline, your jump height goes back to 2, and the jump goes back to 0, and then you have to start again, pressing your button. Now you can change this number here to make it more and more difficult for your player, depending. 0.3 I think is about right, but I mean you might want to make it incredibly difficult. So that it's a split second, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, something like that. It is up to you again. So there you go, and that's a trampoline. That's 2 very quick ones today for the letter J, but all good all the same. So thanks for watching, and keep sparking.